when I think about feelings and everything I wrote down, it's a collection of thoughts, moments, and times from different relationships. It goes over the beginning, the very end of a relationship, and it almost feels like a story in the book. It lets you know how they met, but then again, it'll let you know how it ended. And I think it's just a really cool, creative, and entertaining book. Whether you're there for the metaphors, whether you're there for the double entendres, the wordplay, the silly wine things, I feel like this is a book you'll be entertained by. And I did have questions at first, but like you said, you introduced yourself during the beginning, so I'm gonna just hold off.
Okay. Well, JG, I want to thank you for being here with us today to express this. And I cannot wait for you to tune into this episode. I'm gonna post it up soon, and feel free to share it with everybody, because I think that poetry books is something that it's really exploding now, and I think that we should support indie authors and indie poets and poetesses and whatever else you want to call it. I think that this is something important, and so just a little bit of background on how I met JG. I was doing a writer's lift on Twitter to try to get myself out there, get my podcast out there, and hundreds of people put down work, but I asked JG to be on the show because I felt like it was something that hit close to home, and it was something that I could talk about. It's the theme of this show is about dealing and coping with anxieties, and let's be real, a lot of them have to do with love and failures in love and all that other stuff. So out of those hundreds, or tens of whatever comments, I really, really resonated with what it was that he posted. And I want to thank you for agreeing to do this opportunity and for coming on to speak about your book, which I hope does excellent. And you can count on me to buy a copy.
Oh, well, thank you very much, and thank you for having me on your show. It was an honor to be here. Hopefully I can come back sometime. I love talking to you, and you can find me on Twitter, guys, at JG Gibson, and go support the Spilling Anxiety podcast.
Yes, and that is at Jimmy JIMMY Gibson. That's his Twitter handle. So feel free to go on there and stay tuned, so that way this summer you can grab yourself a copy of the book. Jimmy, I'm gonna let you go so I can go ahead and continue the show. But thank you for being on here, and I will contact you later, okay, when it's up.
All right, no problem. I'm happy to tune in then.
All right, have a good one. All right, you guys, so you heard it here. Something that we're going to go to break soon because that was just a lot to take in. But I want to discuss how maybe some of the things that he said and some of the other things about poetry, how it's really helped me cope, and why I was interested in having him on the show, because his work does resonate with the stuff that is on my show. But I think that I'm starting to establish myself as a podcast and what I want on here. And I think that it is important that we lift up others when it's time to fly. So let's take a quick break, and then I will wrap it up with the last segment. Stay tuned. Okay, and we are back for the final segment of today's episode of Spilling the Anxiety. So, up until now, I've discussed my struggles with postpartum. I've talked about the kind of person that I used to be, how everything is affected now, and I kind of wanted a little bit of a lighter episode. So, at my core, I'm a reader and I'm a writer. And I wanted to have JG on here because I think that, like I said, there were hundreds of comments that were putting out work, and interviews is something that I would like to have on my podcast because I want everybody to know I don't want to just monetize mental health, which I choose that specifically to say because there was definitely some clown that commented on my Twitter talking about you're trying to monetize mental health. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really care what this person has to say, especially because their profile picture was a mask. But I think that we need to be realistic. And this wasn't something in my very first episode. I spoke to everybody and I said, yeah, listen, this is something that I would like to do for a living. But I think we monetize mental health everywhere anyway. Some ways better than others. But I think that you're lying to yourself if you decide that you want to help others, put content out there. See, my time is worth something. The time that I'm spending here right now doing this, the time that I spend editing, the time that I spend making videos. I don't even like being in the camera, okay? Making TikToks, okay? I'm only 27 and I don't know how to work TikTok, okay? I have never been big on social media. I don't know how to do any of this, but I'm putting this forward because it's not just what this piece of my soul that I'm giving you costs. Okay, I am digging out every single experience I've ever been through and I'm bringing it to you in hopes that you learn, in hopes that you don't feel alone, in hopes that maybe you have something to relate to. And I think that for people to think that me putting that much of myself out there, it's not possible to do while also balancing whatever it is that's supposed to fund my lifestyle. So whether I'm a delivery driver or working at Walmart or working in corporate or whatever it is, that kind of thing takes a lot of time out of what it is that I'm trying to put forward. And I think that people believe that everything helpful should just be free. And of course, in a perfect world, it would be. But it has taken me to be able to bring this to you in a way where you can look at it, accept it, listen to it. The microphone and the headphones that I'm using right now to bring this message forward cost money. And I cannot lie to you guys about that. To be able to do this in a quality where it's like, oh my God, that sounds so good. That shit costs money, you guys. So when I read this comment about how I'm trying to monetize mental health, I think that that's absolute bullshit because those billboards that companies put out there that say, hey, are you fucking failing at your mental health? Do you need a spa day? Do you need spa services? Spa services have to be single-handedly the most expensive method of self-care. Okay, blackhead removers and facials and peel-off masks at Walmart. Those are expensive. I was looking at a facial steamer to get my blackheads out and that was $50. And these are all things that are essential to self-care. I got my degree in recreation, something that is the entire time I was getting my degree, they put it out there like, hey, we can't always work and no play. We need to play and all this other stuff. I worked for New York City. I interned with New York City Parks Department. Okay. I know how expensive all of that is. And if your budget isn't on point or you don't have enough of a budget to do something, well, screw that part of your mental health. Everything in this world costs money. And me bringing you this content isn't free. Not for me. I'm currently collecting unemployment because I decided to devote myself full time to this. Now, obviously, working brings in a lot more money than unemployment does. But I'm choosing to forego that to bring forth something that I think is useful to this world and to you people. So, JG is putting himself out there on a book to bring forward to everybody and let in to his feelings. And I think that that's fucking great. I think that's amazing because I can create a door for him and for people like him to move forward and say, hey, this is my shit. Okay, this is the stuff that it took me years to put together. And I put it together for you guys because he doesn't know if he's going to make money off of this. I hope that he does, but he doesn't know that he will. So he's doing all of this and wasting his money and his resources doing this. Or not wasting, but he's putting forth money and effort into doing this with no sight of what reward he's going to reap from this. And I think that as an artist, it takes balls to do that. And I will always open up a door for somebody to do what they can to make their mental health A1 and also take care of themselves. And you can't take care of yourself without money. So that was my little soapbox on why I wanted JG on here, and why, even if the people who know me and the people who don't are like, hey, I don't think that this was consistent with your podcast. My podcast isn't just for me to bitch about me 24/7. I will have people on here. I will have people speaking about their experiences. I will have people promoting themselves, because you should be doing everything that you can for yourself. For the people who say the money doesn't buy happiness, it doesn't. But being broke sure does fucking bring it down. Oh, but you should just be happy that you have what you need, because, sustainability, and you should just be able to get by on what you have, and ignore the luxuries. You're right. We should get by on what we have. But part of being realistic is that no matter how small or big your house is, you still need to put a roof over your head. Whether you're eating lobster or whether you're eating canned tuna, you still need to eat. Whether, fruit itself is expensive, and fruit is a way that you can take care of your health, your nutrition, but that shit is a lot more expensive than buying Twinkies. Okay? So I think that we all need to be a little bit more realistic about what we've got going on here. That being said, I'm going to try to keep today's, we're already heading out there. I want to make today's podcast short and sweet, because I know that now that I'm putting out more regular content, I don't want you guys to get tired of me. So I'm going to call it a wrap here. And I want to thank everybody who has taken the time to listen to this podcast. I want to thank everybody who is even remotely thinking about following JG. Like I said, JIMMYGEEGIBSON. That is his Twitter handle. It takes nothing to just go ahead and follow him, so that way if he puts anything out there, you now know somebody that is angel approved to go ahead and get your feelings from. Yes, that was a play on his book. I'm fucking amazing. Okay, so until Friday, which, I'll be honest with you guys, I kind of want to take the day off because it's my birthday, but then I realized I don't have any friends, plans, or anything to do. So you guys are going to be here with me to celebrate my birthday on air in the Spilling Anxiety Podcast, episode 7, which is disgusting because I hate the number 7. I hate all odd numbers. But until Friday, you guys, where it is happy birthday to me. Oh, I'll be 27 on Friday. Okay, so 7 is appropriate. Until next time, take care, and fucking do something to take care of yourself, that even if you don't have the money to do, even getting yourself that Starbucks coffee, that's fucking taking care of yourself. Okay? So just do whatever you can, and don't let anybody tell you different. Be confident in yourself. Until Friday.